My boyfriend's hobby is ruining our relationship. Plants have ruined my relationship. It started off as my hobby and hyperfocus, and my boyfriend eventually got into it. It was fun at first, we've never really had a common interest and it was a nice thing to do together. It became sorta stressful, we both have ADHD and can become very hyper-focused on things and overdo it fast, but it was manageable. Now it's so past unmanageable I just feel defeated. The plant supplies, shelves and cabinets to hold the plants, became a money pit and took over our already not large apartment. Most of mine died BC. I somehow felt resentment towards them and couldn't even look at them. I still have a lot, but it's manageable. I am in no way wanting my boyfriend to abandon his hobby and love for plants, but he has hundreds. He has well over 100 cactuses just on the patio. I stopped counting at 100 months ago, and he receives multiple packages and picks up multiple locally every week. He has a Millsbo tall packed, some thrown on top, a whole other shelf full, and endless supplies. If I had to guess how many plants he has in this home, it'd be at least 300, but I'd be shocked if it wasn't more. I'm exhausted. We have pets, a 2-year-old, and us all living in this apartment. He has taken and destroyed our very limited outdoor space. There's so little breathing room in our home. Having a nice home is extremely important to me. I grew up in a borderline hoard and filth, and all I've ever wanted is a nice home. I've had to face the reality that I will not be able to get that if he can't stop, and I don't know if I can handle that. His plants aren't arranged nicely, the areas he keeps them aren't kept up with, the endless supplies are thrown around everywhere. Some areas of our home I don't even like to look in the direction of. He will make mountains of plant-related trash and leave it for weeks. I've had multiple meltdowns due to this, since the last one. He's trying but not nearly enough. The mess makes me sick. He's unbothered, so every few months I have to go through his shit, clean it, organize it, just for my work to be destroyed within a week, and it's no easy task. The cleanup can take a week or more, and I don't do it for him, I do it so my son and I can exist in our home. I'm a Sam, so we spend most of our time here. My son, too, has been injured by him carelessly leaving cactus on the ground. I hate having to clean up his giant messes, but the patio mess is one I have to give into, or people get hurt. These plants are easily hundreds each. We can afford it, as in we aren't going into debt, but we aren't ever moving up in life if nothing changes. He lies about the cost constantly, claiming it was a gift, or he bought it weeks ago and it's just arrived. His inability to control this has led me to also spend way too freely. I know I have control over my own actions, but he doesn't save the money regardless, so I feel like I need to get what I want, even if maybe I'd rather have not gotten whatever it is and saved the dollar, before he can spend it all on cactus. The products he's used on his plants, like sulfur, make me sick. The odor is stuck in our furniture, our bedding, our clothes. Even after washing I randomly get whiffs of it. I swear the odor is stuck on his skin, to the point I can't even be near him sometimes. He swears he's stopped using it, but I still smell it. Our entire patio smells horrible. Our sex life is close to non-existent BC. He goes outside with his plants every evening, gets covered in dirt, sweat, and random chemical smells, and is somehow unaware that this is gross. He'll say things like, maybe you can skip outside tomorrow evening, but he never does. He insists he has to tend to them for over an hour every night. It's also the first thing he does when he comes home from work. He is constantly consumed by whatever is on the cactus subreddit, or talking to someone about buying or selling a plant. It's truly a struggle to get him to engage in the family. I feel like I'm having to pull his mind off the plants every 5 minutes. He's literally constantly in some cactus forum, while showering, grocery shopping, red lights. It is a constant battle to get him to be present. He does not spend nearly enough quality time with our son because he's always checking plant things on his phone, or wandering over to mess with the plant. I hate putting my business online, but it's been going on for at least a year and I can't handle this. I've tried to compromise so many times. I don't want him to get rid of everything. I love that he loves something. I love to see him too happy and excited, but this has become more than excessive. There is no compromise he's willing to come to. He is so controlling over these plants. If I touch or move one, he loses it. I'm at a loss. On one hand, I feel like I should be thankful our biggest issue are plants, but really it's so much more than the actual plant. This has left me depressed at times, constantly stressed, anxious and hopeless. This has led to way more issues, but this is long enough. No matter how many times I explain how I'm feeling, nothing really changes. Sorry, I know this might be all over the place and hard to follow. I just really don't know what to do. How can I get through to him and explain the toll this is taking on me? Next story 2. My GF of 3 years returned the engagement ring because she didn't like where I proposed. I decided to propose to my GF of 3 years on our 3rd anniversary. I flew her to Vietnam, and after a couple of weeks traveling we ended up in Cambodia. She had wanted to see Angkor Wat and some other temples that were on her bucket list. After a long day of hiking in the heat through ruins, we retired back to our hotel, and when we were alone together I proposed and she said yes. We kissed and I had planned to take her to the waterfall the next day to celebrate. It's really beautiful. She took a shower and I laid in bed thinking what an amazing day I just had and how I would get to spend the rest of my life with the women I loved. When she came out of the shower, however, she was in tears. She handed me back the ring saying she couldn't accept it because she didn't want her memory of my proposal to be in a hotel room. I played it cool and said I understood, but truthfully it hurt. It seems to me that I had offered her something of value. A lifelong commitment and partner. I took her halfway around the world and helped her cross off something she had wanted to do most of her adult life. I felt that if she valued me, it wouldn't matter that the proposal wasn't exactly what she wanted. It was me and our future together she was saying yes to, and not my delivery. If she had found $1 million in a dumpster, she wouldn't throw it back because of where it came from. So she can't possibly value me or what I have to offer as an individual if she's willing to reject it because she didn't like the place I asked. I'm preparing to end things when we get back. She wants me to propose again and better, and then she'll say yes, but I'm done. Am I wrong? Should I do it over? What do you think? Any advice is appreciated. Comment. I tried to be romantic and filled the living room of our townhouse with candles while she was away for the weekend with her sister, pre-planned. I lit them when I knew she would be home soon. I had champagne, etc. But the candles were tea lights that had been recalled due to the wax having the ability to catch fire without the wick. She walked into me in full panic mode, putting out not only candles, but also our living room carpet and coffee table. It was a disaster. She said yes, and we still laugh about it. I actually love telling everyone how bad my husband's proposal was, haha. He had just spent half the night barfing in a hotel bathroom after a pretty bad case of motion sickness plus food poisoning, road trip, and I had stayed up with him cleaning the various places he'd vomited before he finally made it to the bathroom and plying him with Gatorade. Both completely exhausted, bathed in the glow of fluorescent lighting, the delicate aroma of stomach acid in the air. He thought that was the ideal moment to pop the question. I still rib him about it to this day. The place and the circumstances shouldn't matter as much as the person and the life you're planning to build together. Terrible, hurtful things happen like this in a marriage. Sometimes everything's great for years and then someone acts in a way that is just jaw-dropping awful. We're human and we make mistakes. This is the deal though. We talk about it. We go to the person that hurt us and holds so much power to continue to hurt us. We go to them vulnerable and open and ready for more hurt, and we treat them well and we tell them how we feel. Not with anger. Not with traps or ultimatums. We say, when you did X I felt A and B. We talk to them in order to resolve and, more importantly, to repair. Marriage is all about repair because it gets broken so easily and in ways you can't even anticipate. What she did was objectively shallow. I don't think anyone is going to disagree there, but telling her that isn't going to repair. You've got to go to her, ready for a broken heart, and tell her you that made you feel. If she joins you in the vulnerability and that desire to repair, then you ask for what you need. And be ready to listen to what she needs. Be ready to listen through your hurt and anger, because that's what we do in a marriage. We both work to listen and act and be vulnerable and care. Best of luck, Op.